On my main channel, I just did a full analysis review of Anton Chigurh, played by Javier Bardem. I'm talking No Country for Old Men. It got me thinking that this guy is one of the best villain actors we have currently, so I decided it'd be a cool little video to rank his 3 big villain roles. Those being Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean Chapter 5. 5. Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, and Raoul Silva from James Bond's Skyfall. I enjoy all of these villains, okay, they're all really cool, they're all fun to various degrees, but in last place, kind of a easier one to get. You know, I will say this villain actually holds a special place among the trio in the sense he is the only one who has some form of, you can feel sympathy for him. It's funny how he's a ghost, but yet he feels the most like human, the most relatable of all 3 villains. Not that he's relatable, but if you look at his origins and his motive, there are things you can sympathize with. He is a flawed person, and you can actually look at him and be like, yeah, that sucks that it happened to you. I think Pirates of the Caribbean 5 is, I don't even know what it's called, on Dead Tides or on Mr. Tide. Tide Pods, Pirates of the Caribbean Tide Pod. Whatever the heck that movie's called, it is one of the more forgettable ones in the franchise, but I think that Salazar is one of the best and most memorable parts about this movie.
Jacques Sparrow.
He has some cool scenes, the performance is great. Again, he's in 3rd, but he's by no means a bad villain. In 2nd place, we have a villain who is a big step up from Salazar, and that is Raoul Silva. It is the performance where it kind of mixes the both of Anton and Salazar. He gets to be detached from humanity. He gets to be a little creepier, a little weirder, but he also gets to like be more full of life like Salazar, because someone like Anton, he's very reserved for the most part, but Silva is not like that. He's energetic, he's a lot more fun, and I feel like this was probably one of the more fun roles for Javier Bardem to play. He stands out a lot in the James Bond filmography as far as the villains. He has this eccentric quality about him that just makes him really memorable. I think that of the James Bond's villains we've had in the Daniel Craig series, I think he's the best. He's my favorite, at least. Again, he's not quite as sympathetic as a character like Salazar, but there are still character traits, motivations, things like that to talk about, to think about. I have a full analysis of him on my other channel too. I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video. In 1st place though, I have Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Oh baby, this guy slaps. I don't know what that voice was. In all seriousness though, this is a phenomenal role, one of the best villains ever put to cinema. The dude is so scary, and it's the first villain role that Javier Bardem played. I'm glad I actually making this video because there are like 1 or 2 things I forgot to say in my analysis, so I can say it here. A bunch of psychiatrists did a bunch of tests and studies to find out who was the most realistic depiction of a psychopath in film, and they picked this guy, and it makes sense because he's freaky as heck. The haircut is like just off-putting. The haircut and so many other things like that. His weird like gun of like the pressure, like I'm gonna kill the cow thing. It's such a unique thing that is forever going to be ingrained to this guy. It's those small things that make this guy more memorable, that make this guy stand out. Also, the silence like shotgun that makes like that space noise, so cool, so sick. I really doubt that exists in real life, but it's really cool. He is death and chaos and all of that stuff personified. He's such a cool villain. I love how he plays into this movie and how he plays off of all these other characters. Such a good villain. That's the list. Let me know what other actors I should rank all their villain roles. It could be a fun little series, you know? You never know.